What would you do if you woke up one morning and your bank account showed $8.4 billion? Not a scam, not a prank, real money, cleared funds. For 72 hours, one man had access to more wealth than almost anyone on earth. One man who had it all. One man who lost it all. One man who vanished. Welcome to Case Zero. On the morning of December 12th, 1992, Travis woke up at 7 a.m. like he always did. Same alarm, same apartment, same quiet pressure sitting in his chest before his feet even touched the floor. The argument started in the kitchen. The fridge was nearly empty. The grocery list was still on the counter from last week. His wife asked how they were supposed to make it through the weekend. Travis didn't answer right away. Not because he didn't care, but because there wasn't an answer that wouldn't make things worse. By the time he left the apartment, the argument wasn't resolved. It was just paused. He didn't leave to run away. He left to clear his head. Travis walked to the nearest ATM, not to withdraw much, just enough for coffee. $2. The machine paused. Then the cash came out. As Travis reached for the receipt, he almost threw it away without looking. Almost. The balance wasn't low, it wasn't high, it was impossible. $8.4 billion. Travis stood there longer than he should have. Long enough for someone behind him to shift their weight. Long enough for his heart to start racing. He folded the receipt and stepped aside, already trying to explain it away. A glitch, a printing error, someone else's account. He told himself he would leave. Forget it, go home. Instead, he put the card back in, entered the same PIN, requested $100. The machine paused again, approved. The money came out. He walked. 2 blocks, then 3. He needed distance. From the machine, from the receipt, from the thought forming in his head. By the time he reached the grocery store, the coffee didn't matter anymore. He picked up a basket. Items he usually skipped went in first, things that felt unreasonable just minutes earlier. At the checkout, Travis hesitated again. He told himself this was the test. If it failed here, he would stop. The cashier scanned the items slowly. One by one, the total climbed higher than usual. Travis felt his throat tighten as he handed over the card. The machine paused. The register beeped. Approved. The cashier handed him the receipt without another word. At home, his wife stared at the groceries in silence. She didn't ask where the money came from. When Travis finally told her what he'd seen at the ATM, she didn't laugh. She didn't panic. $8.4 billion. He held out a small box. Inside was a ring. A diamond. She asked where it came from. Travis pointed across the street. A jewelry store. While on one side of the world, Travis's life had miraculously taken a turn for the better. On the other end, on Monday morning at 9 a.m., a phone rings at the bank. When answered, all you heard was a man screaming. While on the other end, the man listening, all he tried to do was to calm him down. The money hadn't arrived, but as minutes passed, the questions became sharper. Logs were pulled. Screens were checked. And then someone noticed something that shouldn't have been possible. The funds hadn't stalled. They hadn't disappeared. They had landed in a consumer checking account, registered to a name no one recognized. Travis Meat. The room changed. Managers were called in. Phones were lifted again. Someone asked how this could have happened. The answer was smaller than anyone expected. A single digit. One incorrect number in an account string. The intended recipient's account number matched Travis Meat's in every way, except one character. That one digit had redirected $8 billion. What actually had happened the night of the scheduled transfer on Friday was the senior executive assigned to the transfer decided to conveniently pawn off the task of the transfer onto his trusted junior, who in fact had just recently joined the bank. Everything was inputted correctly into the system, authorizing the transfer 100% accurately, including the credentials of the absent senior executive, who passed them along to the junior over the phone. It was later found out that the reason for the executive not showing up that day was for a girl he had met online, a date that costed the bank $8 billion. By the time anyone noticed, the weekend had already passed. Within hours on Monday morning, the board was notified. An emergency meeting was called. The first suggestion was immediate: freeze the account. But another voice in the room raised a different concern. If word got out that billions could be misrouted this easily, the damage wouldn't be financial, it would be reputational. Freezing the account too early risked something worse. It increased the chance that Travis Meat would talk to the media, to lawyers, to anyone. As long as he believed he could keep spending, he stayed quiet. The decision was made. Find Travis first, then freeze the account, then reverse the transfer quietly. Upon checking Travis's bank account, everyone at the bank was surprised and shocked to see what he had managed to pull off in a matter of 2 days. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in purchases. Transaction logs were reviewed. A restaurant, a hotel, jewelry stores. Everywhere Travis had been was being tracked. As Monday turned into night, the amounts climbed, turned close to $1 million in swiped purchases, losses the bank couldn't publicly insure. Because publicly, this error didn't exist. Eventually, there was no choice left. The account was frozen. But analysts who later reviewed the case noticed something else. There were no confirmed sightings of Travis after the final decline transaction. No border footage. No financial movement. So where did Travis go? Some believe Travis outsmarted the system. Others believe the system corrected itself, and Travis was part of that correction. Officially, the case remains closed. Unofficially, it was never meant to be reopened. Because this wasn't just about money, it was about what happens when a single mistake reveals how fragile the system really is and how quickly it protects itself. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next week for another thrilling and exciting documentary. This case is a reconstructed narrative inspired by recurring patterns found in real financial crimes and disappearances. Names, characters, timelines, and events have been altered or fictionalized. Any resemblance to real persons or incidents is coincidental.